Neil Melancon's Bottom Line segment. And Neil, over the summer, we've talked about the USDA's October supply and demand report as being the first to reflect the actual yields. What are we seeing as far as higher prices as a result of the report? Did those predictions come true?
Well, Mike, it didn't quite turn out the way I expected it, but I have not one, but two good excuses as to why. The first is, of course, the downturn in the U.S. economy, which no one expected. Even Bush administration officials were touting the strength of the economy over the summer. The second reason is a little more obscure, and that is 3.3 million acres of soybeans the USDA just discovered sometime between the August and October reports. The USDA released figures that indicate there were 1.1 million more acres for 2007 and 2.2 million more acres in 2008, adding to the overall carryout. The result has been a dip in prices from their $16 highs, but higher export figures have worked to keep them still somewhat elevated. There are serious delays in harvesting in many parts of the Midwest, which could leave grains in the field when the freezes do come. Corn harvesting is as much as 2 weeks behind schedule, with about 30% of the crop in compared to the 5-year average of 53%. Meanwhile, soybean harvesting is a little closer to average, around 60% harvested right now compared to the 5-year average of 74%. Now, the bottom line this week has nothing to do with any of this. It has everything to do, however, with the economy and the downturn in the stock markets, which the grains have followed. Speculators have been bailing out of the grains, and with oil below $70 a barrel and the dollar stronger, that trend is going to continue, with prices going down at least in the short term. As Avery talked about earlier, wheat is not going to cash flow based on the current numbers, especially with the barge basis where it is. This could spread to other grains such as soybeans and corn, especially with the U.S. dollar hitting such highs. That's the bottom line this week. I'm Neil Melancon. Back to you in the studio, Mike.
Thanks, Neil. And of course, to stay up to date with the latest farm news and commodity prices, you can listen to Neil's reports on the Louisiana Farm Bureau Radio Network. You can click on over to twilatv.org for a list of stations in your area.